The current nature, that's a good question. The current nature has, let me just back up a little bit, it's changed over time. It's clearly changed from one of I would say, where the foreign influence is less so these days than it was certainly back in 2001, 2002 timeframe, and certainly pre the 9/11 attack on the United States. It has a much more Afghan face to it. It's almost as large today as it was back in what we assessed the numbers to be in October of 2001. It is largely based in Afghanistan. There are still havens and sanctuaries inside of Pakistan where they are able to go and gain or get sanctuary. They do some training in there. They certainly coordinate operations. They coordinate their plans, their objectives inside of Pakistan at an operational and strategic level. Tactically, though, they have some sanctuary inside of Afghanistan, and the nature of it has changed to the point where the way I describe it is where the government is weak, the insurgency is strong. Yeah, I think the Pakistan military has really stepped up and is doing some very, very difficult, complex operations in some of the world's most difficult terrain. Their operations are necessary to eliminate insurgent elements inside of Pakistan. I believe that the Pakistan military, the government of Pakistan, has really woken up to this real serious threat that they have inside of their sovereign borders, and what I call Pakistani Taliban, that threatens certainly their security. It threatens the real potential for Pakistan to become to maintain its economic viability. Pakistan is a nuclear state. It threatens that. It threatens the region. Their operations tactically are having some success, but it is challenging because they're fighting tribes that really know the terrain. The impact on Afghanistan, I don't see it yet. I don't see like a shift of enemy forces or insurgent forces from Pakistan into Afghanistan. I think that if there is a subsiding of Pakistan military operations in the coming weeks, then it is likely, very likely, that the Taliban groups, the Afghanistan Taliban, led by the Quetta Shura and Mullah Omar, and the Pakistan Taliban, right now led by really two groups, Hekmatullah Masood out of the TTP, and a guy by the name of Fazlullah up in the SWAT area that runs the TNSM, which is just an acronym for another insurgent group. It's very likely that they could coordinate their actions and their objectives, and they could easily all turn on Afghanistan. Now, that's a great question. I think that's the principal strength of what it is that we're doing. We have, excuse me, we have so many capabilities within the coalition, particularly our human intelligence collection. I think is actually it's one of the pieces, the components that helps us out quite a bit. The challenge with that many is that it's just that much harder to coordinate, that much harder to organize. We've never had this many nations involved in a coalition operation like this that is as complex as what we're facing here in Afghanistan and in the region. The intelligence capabilities of some of the countries that come in here, you know, are still maturing, and as they understand how important intelligence is in counterinsurgency operations, more and more countries are coming to the plate, so to speak, to help out. One of the things that I've been adamant about is sharing of information. I refuse to allow a partner nation that's out here trying to help us succeed send their men and women out on the battlefield if we have intelligence that says don't go down that road, or we have you know, some other type of technical intelligence that says you need to be aware of this, and you know, and we still categorize things sort of under the old adage, you know, with all of the different releasability factors that we have, and variations and considerations. We have to share intelligence with everybody that's operating on this battlefield, and we have to make sure that we are mature about that sharing. We have to make sure that we are rapid in how we process that information and get it out to the soldiers, the men and women that are out there that are, you know, legitimately in harm's way every single day. And I'd just offer one other thing on that question. Most of the information that we get on a day-to-day basis is just that. It's information. It's a report. You know, intelligence is really some level, some amount of information that's been analyzed and thought about, and you make some judgment about it. A lot of the tactical reporting, the tactical information that we get is just that, and we have to be able to allow our people in the intelligence system to rapidly turn that information and get it out to, you know, those that need to know about it right away, and not worry about whether or not it's got some stamp on it that limits our ability to save lives.